The Portal and the Haunted House. Hello friends of the channel Old Stories and Facts. Welcome to our channel. Today I will tell you a story that seems like science fiction, but it happened. Before we begin, I want you to consider subscribing to our channel and activate the notification bell, so you won't miss any content. It's free and fast. Ready? Already subscribed? Then let's get to the story. There was a family that lived in California. Paulo married to the beautiful Ana Julia, and they were a very rich family. They had a very big fortune, they were very much in love, and after 2 years of marriage, they got the great news that Ana Julia was pregnant, and Paulo, who dreamed of being a father, was very happy. 9 months went by and a beautiful blonde boy with blue eyes was born. His father did everything he wanted, and when he was 10 years old, the spoiled boy had no limits. Everything he wanted he had to get immediately as if it was an order, and his parents didn't know what to do to solve this situation. In his studies, Rafael had already been expelled from several schools. One day he asked his father, who had already bought him a new cell phone for the last generation, but he wanted a new model, but his father said he wouldn't buy another one, so Rafael did everything to bother to try to convince his father, but he said, "You can do whatever you want, but you won't get another cell phone, since you have a brand new one." So Rafael, to call the attention of his father, said, "Then I'm leaving this house. Here you have everything without any effort," he said, and left. Rafael then called a friend to go with him, but his friend said, "I'm not going with you, my friend, this is crazy." "Are you crazy? Look at the life you have. And more, look at our age, you are 10 years old and I am 11, I'm not going. I'm sorry." Then Rafael took his things and said, "I'm leaving, my father will look for me and I will win another next generation cell phone, you will see." He took a backpack, put some clothes and coat and went towards a very dangerous forest. Several people had already disappeared and were never found. Arriving there, he entered the forest and went walking, going deeper into the forest. He walked for several hours and was very tired. He saw a mountain that looked like a cave and said, "I will stay here until my father comes looking for me." When he entered, he didn't know that it was a portal that would take him to another time. That's when he passed and fell into a very old place that didn't have a town. It was only a community that looked like a time of westerns and bang bang movies. He then looked in his backpack to get his cell phone to call his parents, but he couldn't find it because he was back in the past, and in a very backward era that didn't have any digital technology, so he tried to go back to the cave but couldn't find the door where he left. The portal would only open again 20 years later. He started to cry desperately and regretted that he had left home. Now it was too late. His parents were in the future and he was there in the past. He looked around, saw some houses and went to look for food. He entered the small town. The residents were still sleeping and the day was dawning. So he sat down on a bench in front of the shop and waited for it to open. After a while the salesman opened the store, saw him and asked, "Who are you? Where are you from? And these clothes you are wearing? You are not from around here, are you?" "I am from California, sir." "What is this place?" "Never heard of this city." He replied, "It is a very big city. There are cars, telephones, there are many things that we do not have here, airplane shopping and much more." Then the salesman said, "What are you talking about, boy? Are you crazy? I've never heard that there are these things that you say. What is your name?" "Rafael, sir," replied the salesman, who asked him, "How did you get here?" Then he answered, "I was hiding from my parents and entered a cave that led here, but I cannot explain how, because I still do not understand." "Ah, I understand. There is a very old legend that says that that big rock you are seeing is a black hole. It only opens every 20 years. Many people from here disappeared there. Several people, including men, women and children who were having a picnic there, saw when the rock opened and became a door of light and swallowed many who were nearby." Rafael said, It was near that stone that I arrived here. The master answered, "Then I am sorry to tell you that you will be here for about 20 years, so we have to mark the day and time that you arrived. When you complete 20 years at the same time you can try to return home, but you cannot forget the date and time you have to be there. Then let's make a mark on the stone leaving the date of when you can open up, so you don't forget, because I'm already old and I don't know if I'll have another 20 years of life, so let's write on the stone." He answered, "That's okay, Pedro. I can read and write and I'm good at math," and so they both went to the place and wrote everything down. And at a certain moment Rafael said, "Mr. Pedro? When that day comes I will be 30 years old. My parents will not recognize me." Mr. Peter said, "Don't think about it now. Let time go by." "But what do I do now? I am a child and I don't know what to do to earn money to support myself, to buy food, and where will I live?" Mr. Pedro said, "You help me sell and I'll give you food, but living with me there is no way. I only have a room at home, mine and my wife's, but there is an abandoned house nearby. There is a bed and some furniture and the old residents left their running and dropped everything." Mr. Pedro took Rafael to the big house and showed him around. The house was very dirty, but Rafael was soon sweeping and cleaning everything. The next day everything was almost organized, but there was a locked room and he didn't have the key to that room. It made a lot of noise. When Rafael was 16 years old, he saw for the first time a ghost and asked, "What are you doing here? I didn't let you in. And I am not alone. Here. We are many and we are all in this locked room. You have no interest in opening that door?" Rafael said, "I do not know the key." The ghost said, "It is on top of the doorway. After we died no one has entered there. And what is there is terrifying to your eyes. But if you can enter there and not feel fear of us, everything you find there is yours. I give it to you. Only that I need you to do something for us. I want you to help us. No one until today has wanted to do this, and I will explain everything to you. It has been 100 years since some bloody thieves came in here and killed everyone who lived in this house. We were a very happy family. It was me, my wife, my 3 children, my mother, my father and my sisters. They killed us to steal the wealth that was hidden in this room that not even we knew existed. So he paid one of us and asked where it was, and since we didn't know, they killed us. And not only killed us, but tore everyone apart and threw them in the room one on top of the other. It was an immeasurable terror. And then they did this to every single person that they questioned about the treasure. So we are all just lying there anyway, one on top of the other, and what I want is for you to gather our bones and put the pieces of each body into our skeletons. Of each body to form our skeletons just as we were, head, body, leg and arm, and then we want you to do the burial of each one of us. If you do this we will rest in peace and I will show you all the treasures that are hidden there, so can you help us? I will show you whose limbs each of us has. We found a hiding place which is under the bedroom. There is a room underneath where there is a trap door on the floor. When you open it and go down you will see a lot of wealth that will be yours if you help us. So I ask you, will you free us from suffering, Rafael?" Then Rafael asked, "You are not going to scare me, are you?" The ghost said, "Since you have been here have you felt any fear? Did anyone scare you?" He said no. "So if I'm already telling you about the situation in the room, it's because we don't want any harm to you. We just want your help so that we can rest in peace and with dignity. To enter there you need to get lamps and lanterns. It is very dark there, but you do not need to be afraid of us." Rafael took the key, opened the door and saw the steps. The ghost Yuriko said, "You can go down." Arriving there, Rafael saw a pile of bones on top of each other. Yuriko, crying, said, "You see, Rafael? This is our suffering. Here the spirits of all my family are trapped. Are you afraid?" "No, sir. You prepared me. Then I am not afraid. I will help you. What should I do now?" Federico answered. "You get all the bodies, put them in rows. Then I will show you whose members are each. So was done. Yuriko Ghost was talking and Rafael placing all the bones. Then when finished the separation was missing the coffins. Then Yuriko said, Rafael, open the trapdoor that is under the carpet in the corner, go down there and get some nuggets in exchange for coffins. Rafael opened and went down looking everywhere, seeing so much gold and precious stones that he would never imagine in his life. Yuriko said, Lack little Rafael, this is all yours until the manor and the lands around are many bushels, but be careful Rafael. Do not tell anyone where you got these nuggets, find a story to justify the purchase of so many coffins. That's right. Then I will say that I took these nuggets from your teeth and decided to give you a fair burial. Rafael asked, How can I prove that the manor is mine? Where are the documents? Calm down Rafael, I will give you the farm documents. Rafael took a smaller nugget, fixed it to look like dented teeth and went to the city to sell and told a version saying that those nuggets were in his teeth, and to clean the rooms he decided to buy coffins and bury all those bodies. Where do I find coffins? Abandoned mansion. The carpenter said, I am afraid. It's very haunted there. The last family that lived there left everything and left with only the clothes on their backs. Nobody goes in there. Rafael said, It is good to be afraid, but I live there. And if you are with me you will have no problems, just leave the coffins and come back. I want to give a proper burial to that family. I was 10 years old when I went to live there, now I am 16 and the company I have are those ghosts that even talk to me. You can take them and leave them at the door, I'll take them inside. The man asked, What are these coffins for? There is a room there full of skeletons and I'm going to bury them. The carpenter said, Boy, you are brave. But sir, something has to be done, you can't leave him like that without a proper burial, and since I live there, that's what I'm going to do for them in gratitude. Rafael paid the man and received the coffins. To open the graves he chose a beautiful place with many trees and made a wooden fence and buried. Lastly he buried the ghost Yuriko, who said, Rafael, you did a great job Rafael. I am very happy to know you and trust you. Now the time has come to fulfill the promise. I will show you the documents of the land. He opened a drawer and in a false bottom took out a folder that had the title of the farm and gave it to Rafael. Come on in the basement. I will show you everything that will be yours. They went down and Yuriko was showing him a large fortune. Rafael said, How will I take all this when the gate opens? Yuriko said, It was good that you talked about it. You want to go back to your parents, right? You won't be able to go back there. When the portal opens it always takes you to a place worse than you are. Nobody goes back to where they came from. I think it's better to stay here now. You are a millionaire. And you will stay here and nobody will bother you for the fame that this place has. Stay here and call it your home. Make this your home. Here in the region there are farmers' daughters. Are beautiful and you can marry one of them and start a family. Reform the manor. Make it your way. Now if you enter that portal again, you will go to a world more backward than this one and may not have the same luck you had to find us. Rafael asked, Are you sure? Yuriko, yes, I am. This portal only goes back. So I have to live here far away from my parents? That's right. Rafael, I can see what's going to happen, and you won't be able to take your gold. When you arrived here did you bring anything from the future? Where is the device you brought? It's in the future, isn't it? Yes, answered Rafael. Then nothing from the future exists here, only exists in your world, cannot go through the portal. So now that we are all right in our agreement, let's put me in the grave. There is only me in this mansion, and you will no longer see us. Now we will have peace. Goodbye and thank you my young and brave friend, and all the ghosts can rest in peace. Then Rafael thought well and went to talk with the owner of the sale. Talked to him about what Yuriko told about not being able to leave, the danger of falling in another place later, because the portal only leads to the most primitive place at each opening. Heard well, the seller told him. Then stay living here in this place Rafael. In this world you work here, help me and continue living in the big house. Mr. Manuel, it is time for you to rest. Let's go with me to the big house because I need your guidance a lot. Then they both went to the big house. Rafael said, I want to show you something. When Mr. Manuel saw all this wealth, he was surprised and said, You are a millionaire, Rafael. Yes. And that's why I need your advice. What is easy? You will earn a part to no longer work. After all, you are like my father in this my.